Welcome back to the Splatoon 2 North America Inkling Open 2019. I am Vicious Fish, and joining me is the amazing Penguin. Now, Penguin is a player that has made grand finals at many tournaments in this series. In 2017, you won everything. In 2018, you were on the stage, and this year you're on the stage as well. What is the secret to your success, my man?
Well, the secret to my success would be a lot of things. First of all, I wouldn't be where I am at all without my teammates. This is a team game. Like, anyone. Also, I just want anyone that has ever supported me, anyone that has cheered me on, and all my past teammates. Thank you. Thank you to everybody. Also, not only that, but determination and maturity, and just having a goal and then pushing towards that goal.
Well said, I like that. Yeah, let's give it up for Penguin. What a humble, nice guy. So I know this game means a lot to you. You've put in a ton of hours. What exactly does this stage, the game, the tournament, and everything mean to you for Splatoon 2?
So coming from a really small town in Alabama, travel really isn't such an option to me. It's not really affordable, but being able to be on a stage like this, being able to meet my teammates, being able to play at such a level of competition, it means everything to me. And just being able to show Nintendo and show everybody else that maybe doesn't have this game how competitive this game is, it means everything.
Thank you so much, man. Everyone, one more time for Penguin. What an amazing guy. But we are going to go into grand finals here. Take it away, casters. Thank you so much, man.
Thank you so much, Vish. What a delight. I mean, both of them, just so delightful, but also Penguin. I love you, man. You're so sweet. It's just a really nice person. They're all such really nice people.
Yeah.
That's what I really love about the community in Splatoon. The community is so awesome. Highly recommend you get involved with them because they are so uplifting and so helpful.
Yeah.
And I think they're the best.
If you get involved with the Splatoon community, you might meet Milana.
Yeah, or 9. Or me.
Any of us.
I mean, any of us.
How about that?
All right, it is time. It is time, my friends, to find out who will be the champion of the Splatoon 2 North America Inkling Open 2019. And now, we have a very exciting match, but we're going to play a best of 7 for this.
As it should be. Best of
That's
7.
right.
When you have teams to this level, a best of 5 is just not enough. Too many things can go wrong. Too many things can change instantly, as we saw in that last set. You need to have a best of 7 to truly determine who has the most. And you can see there at the bottom, Tower Control, Rainmaker, Clamblitz, Splat Zones, Rainmaker, and Tower Control if we need to go to 7. Milana, talk a bit about the stamina that is required to finish a full-on best of 7, because match 1 feels very different from match 7.
Yes, it's just so much playing. You definitely need to have practice playing all these matches, and I know that all of these teams, they play at the top level, and they scrim a lot, so they have that stamina to keep them going, but it might be different on the big stage, so we'll see.
It is a lot different playing at home with your quiet house and your internet connection compared to something like this, where there is a huge crowd waiting and cheering and making noise and having a great time, just like
Let's
that.
go, crowd.
Let's go, crowd.
We took the cue.
Well done.
But if you don't mind, let me kind of talk a little bit about, I think, the keys. I'll take Lowkey here. The keys to
Please.
victory for them. Yeah, you got it. So I think that in that first set where they scored that great upset, and make no mistake, this will be an upset if Lowkey wins. I think it has to start with Arashi's play. That was one of the best sets that I have seen Arashi play. He's
Very
going
good
to need
play.
to continue that, but they are going to need to find a way to contain Kyo. And it is so difficult to contain a player that can play every weapon, but you know that he is always going to be around the play when it is made, and I think they have the tools to do it. I think that Tetsu and Arashi and Gamer all together, I think that any one of those combos of 2, however you want to split it, can do it, but
Can
it
be
is
dangerous.
going to be so tough.
Well, and like you mentioned, at the top of this entire competition this morning, you said if they get momentum, it can be very difficult to stop them. And it feels like they've got a lot of momentum right now. And after an upset like that, that is how I would feel. We are getting ready. It looks like we are about to go. Let's get hype, crowd. Let's do this.
And we start off.
Towers.
Boring Towers, Tower Control, Ashley. I'm going to leave this one to you because this is a map that you are very familiar with on this stage.
Oh, I've experienced much rage playing tower control in Moray Towers. One of my favorite high-rise buildings of Inkopolis. All right, so we have got Lowkey in the purple. We have got FTWIN in the green. They are going to be making a push for that tower. Milana, tell me a little bit about when it's the best time to take the tower. It might not be the best strategy to get it right away.
So definitely, you want to make sure you get at least 1 or 2 picks before. You want to have that numbers advantage before you decide to push in. Oh, Kyo trying to go for that flank.
Very
not
aggressive.
quite working.
Very aggressive. I'm glad that you mentioned that here because one of the things that you need to get those picks that Milana's talking about is this area over here that we saw Shaq go up. We call that sneaky. It's not a very creative name, but essentially is you are so focused on the center of the map, it allows the opponent to move up that way. And Gamer trying to find a pick there, not able to. I like the fact, though, that we see both teams willing to take some risks early on because this map can really, really change in a hurry. Sometimes you have to make that risk, otherwise you're leaving points on the table, as we see now that first checkpoint being approached, Milana.
Definitely, and I think what's something else worth mentioning about this map in particular is that there's only 2 checkpoints. So this map and mode might feel like it goes by in a breeze.
Really quickly, and without that 3rd checkpoint, it takes away an extra opportunity for an opposing team to take you out, take the tower back, and return the lead to themselves.
And to further compound on that, it is very difficult to get back into the action. Look at how far up Gamer is standing right here, and it goes up 1 layer higher if you can believe that, meaning on top of everything else that we've said, it all adds up to one very quick tower control map. Both of these teams want to keep that number in the 80s for as long as they can because it can go from 60 to 0 in a hurry. Great turnaround shots there by Shaq. This is good. You see now 3 down. This is going to be a big push. This is going to be where Lowkey has to dig in and find a defense, Ashley.
Man, FTWIN's got 2 specials compared to Lowkey, which really isn't even close to any specials right now. We might see 1, but yeah, they're already past checkpoint 1. They are headed toward checkpoint 2 with a vengeance. I'm not, they're pushing it. Are they gonna make it to the 2nd checkpoint?
That's incredible rotational attack. You saw as soon as Shaq jumped off, a baller was there to replace him. That's what we call rotational aggression there. Moving up, spatial awareness. They have used that, and they are so close already to a knockout. Ice gonna add a little insult to injury right there, and that's...
Oh, Kyo gets splatted mid-splashdown, and that is the game. FTWIN takes that map with authority. Tower control and Moray Towers can be extremely intense, and I think we just saw that.
Well, you saw that it was really the 1 3-down situation that opened that entire thing up. From there, the good teams are going to be able to rotate their aggression, not sit in one spot, and always be active. I think that's the thing that you have to know. Even when you're in a very powerful position, you need to continue to paint. You said earlier, Ashley, these players build up their specials better than anyone. That's because they don't sit back and wait. Every once in a while, there is a time for that flank. There is a time for that shark, as we like to say, hiding in the ink, waiting to pounce out.
Yep.
But there's a time and place. It is not the rule. It is the exception. And I'm hoping we get a little fight back this time.
I want to see some fire. I want to see some fire coming. Our next game is Rainmaker mode, which we didn't see earlier in the first 2 matches of the day. Let's talk a little bit about Rainmaker. There's a beautiful gilded dragon grenade launcher, if you will, an ink launcher, if you will, in the middle of the map. You got to break the barrier, and then you got to carry the Rainmaker. Everybody knows you have it. Just like in Clam Blitz, everyone knows you got Power Clam. Same thing. Everyone can see who you are, where you're going, and you got to protect your teammate until you can make it to the other team's goal.
And there's a little bit of nuance too, because the Rainmaker does have a barrier of sorts, a shield, however you want to call it. You have to pop that first before you can even pick up the Rainmaker. It puts out a lot of ink very, very quickly, and it can take out people who are unsuspecting and standing too close to it. But it creates this interesting battle of positioning the Rainmaker and understanding that even if we get taken down, if we put the Rainmaker in a position where we can follow up, pop it again really quick, a special or 2, we can really continue to make our pushes even if the first one didn't get that knockout.
Definitely, and it's also, just to piggyback off of that, it's worth mentioning that the Rainmaker is the most powerful weapon in the game. If you are good at timing your shots, if you're good at deciding, oh, am I going to charge this fully? Am I going to charge this just a little bit? You can be an immense nuisance.
Yes, that's
You
a
can
great
cause a
way
lot
to,
of
that's a
trouble.
very nice way to phrase what we usually say.
It can cause a lot of trouble.
An immense nuisance can a good Rainmaker be.
Well, I want to talk a little bit about the factor for me for Rainmaker that I find so interesting, especially at this level of play, is the reset factor. So a lot of times you're going to see teams have a specific strategy when they want to get the Rainmaker out of enemy territory very quickly, and that is
Let it reset.
swim.
Well, so you can swim it or you can let it reset. And we actually saw a moment where letting the Rainmaker reset passively backfired on a team.
Pretty huge.
A huge, I mean, it was a win. And for those who who don't understand what we're saying here, the Rainmaker, when popped, will eventually reset to its position in the center. It is not like the tower where it slowly moves on a predetermined path. It is there 1 second and back in the middle the next second. And there is a timer on that. You can see that it's blinking. But what teams will do sometimes is if they make a defense, they'll pop it, they'll leave it there, and they'll go and try to take back some turf and push back. But you got to be careful. Someone might be waiting to get that back cap, as we like to say.
It looks like we are about to get started for Rainmaker mode. Everybody, let's get ready to go. I am super excited about this.
We're getting some booyahs in the chat.
Some booyahs in the chat. Skipper Pavilion. We've got FTWIN in the yellow. We have got Lowkey in the bright blue. And here they go.
This is a very scary map to play this on because there is a flank that has been built into the map, and we will talk about that, I'm sure, at some point. You can see it there. That canvas area allows you easy access to where the opponent is defending, and because of that, you have to be very, very conscious of where the opponent is at all times. Sometimes you can get a little lazy, not here and not at this level. Once again, we see, as we often do, both teams waiting a little bit, trying to force the enemy back before they make that first push. We see Shaq waiting around the Rainmaker, going to use the baller to create some space.
Already got the baller.
Yeah.
Already got the baller. Now, we've already got 4 specials ready on Lowkey, which is absolutely bananas.
Oh,
but
wait.
unfortunately, we got 1 splatted down, 2 splatted down.
Here comes the hammer!
On the hammer. Oh, let's go,
Gamer absolutely taking that Stingray to town.
That
Gets
is a
double
full
swipe.
wipe.
Very, very
wipe.
good. It is. They have a 4 squid advantage there. They have got the Rainmaker. They are taking it. Tetsu's got it. He is glowing.
He is glowing bright blue, but it is worth noting that even though they got that full wipe, 44 is not a bad push on this map. You have to get right around and up that second ramp right there. And believe me, the opponent knows about it. So you see right there, they are arranging themselves to not get picked by it. Ice gonna go ahead and get the revenge splat right there. Kanarashi's hammer opened this up. He was already taken down. They're gonna try to get whatever they can, but you see, that was 2 specials and they got nothing out of it. That shows you how powerful. How did the one get that hit?
How did the 1 survive that? I don't know, but he doesn't survive, Shaq. They are ready to go. 2D's got the Rainmaker. They're doing their best to get some picks, but unfortunately, the Stingray takes him out.
Does as we get back to a more neutral situation. Not a big push here. Both Stingrays are out of the equation for now. Tetsu gonna try to open something up here. This is that flank we were talking about. Tetsu has to watch this way because he knows that somebody could run that. I like the fact that the 1 has rotated back. Umbrella's gonna have a slightly easier time, but look at this. They're gonna have a difficult time getting
And
the
the
Rainmaker
one getting
back
a
to
double
mid.
before getting taken out by Kyo. This could be a
Oh,
push
wow.
on
He
Lowkey.
almost got him, but he was able to jump back to base before Gamer was able to take him out with the Rainmaker. But once again, the
Ice with that
Stingrays.
Stingray.
And this
Brutal.
is-
That's the double.
Yeah, that's actually a triple right there. And this is why I said earlier, even though they got the full wipe, giving up a push to 44 might have been against them right there. Both times they've tried to make the push, it's taken almost everything and they've gotten almost nothing. And now this push is aggressively coming the other way. The only special available is Arashi's hammer. Will they be able to use it in time? Oh man, the Stingray is up now. That's going to end that push here. So both teams, I feel like we're seeing the same thing over and over. They're getting to about the same area. They are using their specials to try to open things up a little bit. And then the Stingray stops it. Ink Bath in the middle here as we approach 2 minutes left, Milana.
And you can see it's just pretty even. They come back to the middle, they fight in the middle, and then one team makes a push, one team makes the other push. So
We've got a
see it.
one-on-one right here with 2D and the 1, and he takes it. I'm really, what's gonna happen to the baller? Is he gonna get it? Yeah, he definitely got
close.
Couldn't move away. gonna move away.
You can only dance so much before eventually the baller finds its target, and this is really scary here. So we've seen how scary Ice's Stingrays are. If Ice is able to find a double in this situation,
Rushing
a
a double, and the hammer
hammer.
comes out.
Hammer.
Oh, can we get
Oh,
it here?
the triple! Can he get the quad?
Can he-
Oh!
Wow.
The jump denying Arashi the quad and perhaps the highlight of the tournament. They're going to run it right away here. Clutch suction bombs there, trying to slow that one down. They can actually get up there. The one needs to move up and try to get it. Arashi moves up. Oh,
Can they do
Rainmaker
it?
goes
Are they
down.
that's a triple for Arashi.
For Arashi,
They're
he
gonna
is
go.
on fire.
And he has the hammer too.
He's going to town with the hammer. I can't believe it. I love this guy.
Oh, and he almost got another.
Almost did.
He's
Man.
insane!
He is absolutely just a force to be reckoned with that hammer. I cannot believe the accuracy, the absolute composure. When he has got that special, he is almost unstoppable.
And there you saw the splasher wall being used as well. That sub weapon, you saw the main weapon, you saw the special weapon. Arashi truly a master of his overall kit. This baller going to be used a little early. That's not going to be available for the push. 20 seconds left, Milana. This is looking scary.
Well, if there's anything FTWIN is really good at, it's coming back. So
That is very true. That is very true. But they've only got about 8 seconds left to do that.
Keep an eye on the top of the screen. There
Oh,
was
there's someone
the hammer,
coming from behind.
And the
The one
one
coming with
gonna
the flame.
do it. The
that will end the
old-fashioned
game.
way.
And that is the game. That is the game.
Look at Arashi. Look at that smirk. Look at Arashi's
He's so
smirk right now.
smug.
He is
Look at
himself.
that face.
The crowd is loving it. Harashi just, he knows.
He knows. He knows. But
That
again,
was great play.
the big plays being made when they needed to be made, and you never want to put it on exactly one player, but there was a distinct moment in that match where Arashi said, all right, this is my game, you all are just playing it.
Yep.
Let's
Yep.
open this up. What was essentially almost, we don't even have a word for it, but 6 people he took out over the course of one push.
30 seconds?
You know,
If there's
just
a
big
Arashi
deal.
thing.
That
Just
easy,
Arashi.
just Arashi
All right.
things.
It's totally fine.
And the way that they went about that defense too at the end, they had the Stingray, they had the hammer, and they had the one flanking as well. There was no way that that was getting anywhere near that 15-point marker that they needed. Great response there from Lowkey.
Yeah.
Absolutely good. We've got a replay here of course, I wonder who it's of.
Yeah.
It's Arashi, of course. He is going to get in there. There is 2 splats right there. Then he pulls out the special, which is usually, that's when you get your doubles and your triples. But no. And you can see he almost
Barely.
grabs,
Almost got the quad there
almost
at the
got
end.
the quad there. And I mean, what an amazing play by him. And he continued on, like you said, to just steamroll wherever he felt like. That was his map. That was his map.
It was, and that's a very difficult map to play on too. But speaking of difficult things, we have Clamblitz coming up here, and it
Yes.
is going to be on Starfish main stage, and we don't play on this one a ton. This is a little different for a lot of people, and talk about why that is, Milana.
So relatively recently, they had a huge map change for this. So they definitely pushed the clam basket backwards towards the spawn. I think this map is, I don't know why it stopped being used. It seems pretty vanilla when it comes to, like, when I think Splatoon 2, I'm like, oh, Starfish main stage.
It was one of the first maps that we got to play
Yeah.
on. It's one that a lot of people are familiar with. Maybe it is the changes that we saw that made it just a little bit more difficult, a little bit harder to approach. And the center, I will say this, the center of the map being so vanilla does mean that it can be scary to build clams. The clams do spawn in pods of 4, and they spawn at the same time everywhere. So whenever there is, the position that the pod spawn is predetermined. It will not move
It
or
doesn't
move
change.
around.
Yeah.
So I think because it's such a vanilla map in the center, teams are a little trepidatious about pushing forward and trying to gather those.
I can definitely see that. We might see a little bit more of a cautious play when it comes to entering this match.
So for Clamblitz on this particular map, what do you guys think is the most important loadout and build? Like, what are we going to see here? Are we going to see a triple front line here? I don't think so. But what are we going to see from these 2 teams?
There's a lot of ways that they can attack this map. There's some verticality to the map, a little bit. It's not Moray Towers, but it is
Not
nice to
quite.
have some mid-liners, some mid-range shooters, or some mid-range blasters, as the case may be, that can go up and push that. But I think what I'm curious to see is how many ballers, because they did push that clam basket back, as you talked about, and when we see lots of ballers is typically those maps where you do have to go further back.
Right.
So we might see Kyo's Ink Brush here. We might see Shaq. Well, we're definitely going to see Shaq sticking on the dualies. But I wonder, is Arashi going to switch back to the dualies after that kind of a game with his main weapon?
I mean, if I'm Arashi, never change a winner, right? You want to keep going with what works.
Don't fix it.
Yeah, if it's not broke, don't fix it. And honestly, even if he feels like, well, maybe it's not my #1 strongest weapon on this map in Clan Blitz, I feel like maybe I'd still go with it because if you're on a roll, you're on a roll.
Yeah.
He's got the answers. We've got the questions. They will be answered shortly. I see the teams getting ready here in the lobby. As we said earlier in our last broadcast, Lowkey is the mad scientist team of the community. Always trying to find a new answer for the age-old question, what is the best? As we get started now, right here, Game 3 tied 1-1. This will not be a 4-game set.
It will not be a sweep. Put away your brooms, everyone. Put away your brooms. It's time for Clan Blitz. Let's get going. FTWIN in the green. Lowkey in the purple.
Timeout. Let me count this up. Is that a triple baller composition coming out of FTWIN? I asked how many we were going to get. And on the other side, Gamaru breaking out the Nautilus as well.
I have personal experience against FTWIN's triple baller comp. It is not fun to deal with.
You always have to be aware of the threat that a baller could pose, but the fundamentals are still there. And the one with a great escape.
Doing his best to escape. We got one baller has already gone off. We've got a relatively even number of clams out on the field right now, with FTWIN having a little bit of an advantage, but we're about to see probably FTWIN's going to get a power clam here.
And this is so quintessentially Lowkey. When the opposing team goes with, okay, let's use lots of ballers to push in here, Lowkey instead opts to go, which is what they like. They opt with their picks that they're so comfortable with. You have this L3, you have the Brella, you have the Nautilus, all of these things. But I think right now they're starting to feel why you would run a triple baller composition, as two just tore through them right there for a couple picks, Milana.
And I believe that they're making a push. Let's see how many.
They absolutely are. They are very close. We got the Booyah Bomb out. Everybody's super jumping. It is time.
Ooh.
But Ice gets iced immediately as he jumps in, and Shaq gets taken out. It looks like.
And we see why the Ink Brush is so powerful.
But they did break the barrier, and FTWIN becomes the first team to score.
They did, and that's a big score too. We like to get past 60 points. That's where 2 power clams suddenly doesn't become as threatening. You can kind of rest back a little bit, use more defensive play style there, collect your clams and play a little bit slower. We do see that the pity clam has already been picked up, so they're gonna opt to try to make a score quickly. And Kyo coming in with another baller here. They do not have a power clam to follow this up. This is literally only to make a mess right now. Arashi caught in the middle of 3 people here and responding with a hammer of his own. This is absolute chaos, Ashley.
Yeah, I absolutely love watching Kyo on this brush. He is so quick. He is so sneaky. Ice is out there doing the work with the bucket. I think that Lowkey is going to have to do a lot of work here to pick up some clams and score some points, because right now they are being shut out.
They are. They have enough clams right now, and they get 2 down, so this might be the look that they're going for. But again, they only have 1 baller, so they're going to be a little bit more honest about this than FTWIN has been. If Arashi finds another pick here on... Oh, there's the 1 baller they have. They can get a jump in here. They can get a jump. Calling it out. I don't think they had the jumps ready. They were being attacked.
No, there was a moment. There was just a quick beat where it was just waiting. The ball, it was just waiting, and nobody came.
I think it was Ice. Somebody was back here and getting picks and hitting the people. Remember, when you super jump, you are stuck in a prone state for just a little bit. And I think that they understood with the baller going in, they needed to move forward and attack that. And now Kyo gonna come back the other way. They're gonna try to get another jump as well.
Ooh,
and I think it's going to work.
Look at him go. He's doing his
Look
best.
at that
was
maneuvering.
Really great maneuvering. That was fantastic on his part. They're doing their best. Oh no, he takes out the hammer.
But they do push that score to 28, which is not... It's a pretty solid lead.
It is. Count
It's a
by
very
20s,
solid
everybody.
lead.
It's going to take 3 power clams and some change to bring this one close. And you see right now, Lowkey has done a great job of collecting clams throughout this game. They've been over 20 for some time now. The issue is that they don't have an easy way to just force their way through. They're going to be relying on things like Arashi's hammer right now. Can he find a way to get a pick? If they go too many down, they're going to be in trouble. But 2 do go down. They might be able to get a push right here. The jump is going.
The synchronized jump.
They break the barrier. They break the barrier. barrier. They score some points. They're still a little bit behind, but
They're all wiped.
they're all right.
They are all wiped.
No more
but
scores.
No, I am okay with that now, though, because at least they got some points on the board. And sometimes you just have to edge your way closer to evening things up here. Now, though, you see all of the map control is in favor of FTWIN. That means no clams are going to be available to Lowkey without really some amazing plays. We see Gamer trying to get some going right here on this side, and the Nautilus is a weapon that's unconventional but can still get things done, although Shaq has something to say about that, Milana.
Yeah, he goes in for that flank, but Shaq's like, no way, because Shaq is a master of flanking.
Also, Shaq is a really, really great suction bomb player. He always has great placement on suction bombs. You can see he took out, he very easily took out the one. He was like, no, no thank you. I'm just gonna leave this behind me and you're gonna deal with it.
He just knows. He knows where they're gonna be.
They've done a great job here. Lowkey is actually sitting on 24 clams and some more available. They have the resources right now to get very, very close. We'll have to see how they opt to shuffle the clams around, but there are almost enough right now to get a win.
They're gonna have to do something because
do.
this game is in overtime.
Oh, they're
This
gonna
game
pop
is
that
in
baller,
overtime.
and they pop it.
They are doing their best.
He
Oh
got double balled.
They do. Double bollard. Arashi also went down with the hammer. They've got no way to push in. They've got nobody left up right now. A clean and strong victory. Shaq
Shaq
watching
looking up at
TV.
no! He's watching the television. He
All
is
right.
watching the television.
All right, Shaq, I see that. You're on TV, but that's not enough. You got to watch TV, too.
Art imitates life.
Art imitating life. That's right.
And at
wow.
the end, you saw exactly what we were talking about the whole game. They had the power clams to move up, but all they had to force their way through was Gamer's baller. And you see he had 4 there, but at the end, as soon as he pushed the baller, everybody went on that exact
Jumped
location.
right on him.
They popped 2 of their ballers in order to stop it because they said, if we stop this, there's nothing. You have nothing. We are willing to spend everything to stop this.
If you're willing to put everything on the line to keep that team from scoring points, I mean, that's the name of the game in Clan Blitz, and they did a very good job of deciding that was the choice to make in that moment.
Definitely.
So we have got so now we've got FTWIN up 2-1. They're moving along. Things are happening.
They are moving along and moving right along to Inkblot Art Academy's Splat Zones.
That's where I went to college.
Really?
Yeah. I have a
degree in art ink blot.
ink blot
I
test.
think you can give me a recommendation there?
Yeah, no problem.
Okay, cool.
I know a lot of the professors.
I see. And one of the reasons why we love this map so much and why Ashley went to school there is because it is one of the most neutral and understood maps in the game. You have the plat area that you sit back on so your long-range weapons can go. You have that installation in the center that you can move up to and take. And this is a map where aggression really starts to show its teeth.
It really does, and it feels like this is one of my favorite Splat Zone maps because it is all about the play. It's not about the map. Like you said, it's like this really great neutral map where everybody... It's depending on them. It depends on their play. It's not about terrain. It's not about, fans and changing elevation and keeping the high ground. It is really genuinely, this is like Splatoon at its absolute purest, and I love this map for that. I'm so excited to see these 2 teams face off in Splat Zones.
There is one special that we have not talked about much today that I think is very strong on this map, and that's the Inkjet. Milana, talk about the rise and the fall, and the rise again of this weapon.
Much like the weapon itself.
It's definitely a skill-based weapon. You have to practice in order to get good. It takes a lot of prediction, so you want to be able to predict where the opponents will be in order to shoot your shot and get that direct. There's a lot of different maneuverability.
Sure,
you can
yeah.
It's like Star Fox 64 out there. You can get a little crazy with it.
Yeah,
Milana,
definitely.
a year ago, this was like the weapon,
Yes.
right? And now we don't see it as often in pro level play. And I think obviously the Stingray is the big one that we see on the baller. But in the way of Inkjet for a map like Splat Zones, like how can that be a difference maker?
Definitely, since the Inkjet rises above, you have that height advantage and you can actually see more of the map. So that's like another aspect that a lot of people don't really think about because they're too focused on getting one or two splats. But you can actually see maybe in the farther back, there's somebody there, or you can make those callouts to your team to kind of make it so that your team is aware of where the other team. Spatial awareness.
Communication and spatial awareness is so key in this game. As we've mentioned over and over again, it really is all about teamwork. if you're not communicating to your team what you're seeing and what's going on in your area of the map, no one knows what's happening to you. And so I think that this is one of the things that both these teams do very, very well. I am very curious because of the sheer amount of ink that comes down with the baller. Will we see a triple baller again?
We'll see exactly what these teams try to bring out as we get into a more neutral look than our last few maps. Splat Zones, Inkblot Art Academy. The community loves this. The players love it. Let's take a look at our compositions right now. I'm not seeing nearly as many ballers this time around. In fact, I don't think that I see any as I look around.
That is shocking.
Wait, no, we do have one. I apologize. Arashi.
Arashi,
Surprise,
all right.
surprise, surprise. Trading off his signature hammer for the baller. Still very scary. But again, you see the difference in the way that these teams have chosen to attack this map. Even with that, they are still using a lot of that midline. And Milana, we see the range, the safety of the height of your plat. Talk about taking that and how strong it can be.
Yeah, so when you're playing in this map, you really want to be aware that after the opponent takes the zone, they are probably going to push up into your plat. So you want to make sure that you keep that plat, you keep that... Whoa, what is happening? Everybody's dying.
Some great plays by Arashi, of course, and Kyo doesn't quite get off that special. We've got the one there. They have taken the lead. Lowkey is in control right now. Let's see if they can hold on to it. We've got the Stingray out.
I do not agree with the fact that the one swam back towards the zone in that situation. That could have put a lot of very important paint on the zone instead. But they actually are able to get one person down even with that. And with Arashi's baller, they're going to get some good points off of this still. The Booyah Bomb coming in. Arashi in the middle of a lot of pain right now as we do see a very close. No, Tetsu gets the pick, but we do finally have the turn back. And Milana, again, talk about how important it is for you to get control, but also hold on to control and take that plat back.
I think it's just, it's really important that you push up after you get the zone because there's really only one way into the zone, one main way into the zone. So if you can push up into the opponent's plat, take that, have that turf control, it really helps you to take that, take the objective and keep
Right. Move up with the objective. And speaking of move up, we see all four specials coming at once, and the one staying alive by virtue of being an umbrella. This is the only weapon that can do this, by the way. This is so incredibly annoying to deal with right now. And he is over here. The battle is being fought elsewhere, but Kyo wasn't able to do anything about it. And now he finds himself in a 2v1. That is the power of the umbrella right there. Gets you looking the other way and gets you a 3-down situation and only one more opportunity for FTWIN to come back.
FTWIN is going to have to work really hard to take this point back. They're down to 15 beats. Lowkey could actually take this right now. If they keep this point, they might, in fact, just do this.
Oh, what a great baller. Arashi's baller just in time.
Goes to Lowkey.
We are at 2-2. We are going to get at minimum 6 games of this.
I love it so much. I love seeing stuff like that. Man, that was a definitive hold on their part. Lowkey able to just keep that splat zone in check. They were able to, once again, push out those opponents, keep them away from that splat zone. If you can't put ink down there, you're not going to win.
You're not. And I want to talk just a little bit about Arashi's baller there at the end. I know we've been saying, you at home are probably tired of hearing the word Arashi, but I want to break down this one play here. Arashi pulled out his baller at the very end to keep people from jumping down into the middle of the map, right? It wards them away. Then he came around to the left side when he saw that people were coming that way. Then when they rotated back to middle, he exploded where they were shooting. That effectively shut the whole thing down.
Shut it down.
It's just the situational awareness, and we talk so much about it. We talk about composure. It's a lot.
And we are now at 2-2. We're seeing a pretty great finals.
Yeah.
Yes.
And these teams know what is on the line here, which is to represent North America in the Splatoon 2 World Championships 2019. Which is pretty exciting. They are so pumped. I think, both these teams want it just as bad as the other, and they're not going to go down without a fight.
No, they're not. And I mean, both of these teams have worked so hard, too. They have come together, and they both have their own very distinctive styles of play. But we have another Splat Zones coming up, Milana. Do you think...
Walleye Warehouse.
Walleye Warehouse, that's a tricky one.
That is a tricky Splat Zones.
Do you think that the way that Lowkey was playing right there lends itself just as well to Walleye Warehouse as it did Inkblot?
I think it might be a little bit more tricky only because there's less area it's a very skinny map. There's not that much place to branch out. So I think they might need to focus their attacks a little bit more if they want to succeed in Walleye.
And one of the things that we saw in the quarterfinals was Arashi with that amazing hammer play in Walleye Warehouse.
Yeah.
So I think we might see some more hammer action. It might be hammer time once again. Hammer time.
It's a good overall look, too, because it has that splash wall as well. And as Milana was saying, this is a very, very thin map. The Stingrays will be out in force.
Yes.
Don't kid yourself.
Very
You're going to
much,
see
yeah.
lots of Stingrays here. But as Milana was saying, it is so difficult to push back in on this map. The team that gets that first big wipe very often takes it from 100 to 0 in just one big push.
So quickly. So quickly. I mean, this particular mode and map can be over in a second. If you're not on top of what's going on score-wise, you can lose very, very quickly. I am super curious to see what the 2-on-1s are going to look like here. I think Milana, if you are low key right now, who do you have to shut down? Oh, it looks like we're ready to go. Who are you shutting down in this game?
I would definitely aim to shut down Ice.
Ice, I think
That
you
Stingray.
got to put him on ice.
Yes.
Keep that Stingray out of his hands, everybody. All right, let's go. It's Walleye Warehouse. FTWIN is in the green. Lowkey is in orange. There is one splat zone in the middle, and somebody's going to have to take it.
Somebody has to take it.
Somebody has to take
It
it.
is how the mode works, but we see already Lowkey rushing to the middle. They both want the zone early, and Lowkey, even though they took the zone, nobody's gone down yet. They are both okay with this look here, and as we mentioned earlier, the Stingrays are there, and actually the
Already
first person to go
missiles.
down is Kyo here, so this might be an opportunity for Lowkey to force them back.
This is a really good opportunity for them, I think. You can see already they've got specials up on both sides. We already have seen Tenta missiles.
Whoa.
There's the Stingray, two Stingray action. Who gets taken out? Oh, Gamer gets taken out by Ice. Like you said, Milana, it is all about Ice right now with that Stingray. It is dangerous.
See here, they thought they saw somebody out there to the left, opt to pivot back to the middle, and here's the inkjet of Shaq firing away, forcing people back again, and very close to taking out Gamer here, as we see a great job of surviving two specials there. If the opponent burns their specials to keep you out, and you all stay up and active, that's generally a win for you. They have the baller here. Arashi's going to pivot to the middle, but Kyo comes back to punish Gamer. And actually, what we said they had to do to Ice, it looks like FTWIN heard your advice, Milana, and took it back the other way.
Definitely. But I mean, it's splat zones. The lead could go at any point, any way, at any point.
We've got 4v4 on the field. It's 75 for Lowkey. They've lost control. Let's see who takes it back. They take it back again. They're still in control. They're doing a really good job of managing that splat zone.
And you see Arashi pushing up, really trying to keep for the FTWIN in their spawn.
And I love the fact that they pushed up there. The play that was made there was Gamer, the Splatling up in front of the zone. Gamer has been known as the aggressive Splatling for about as long as they've existed. And take a look at this. He has the Stingray. He is going to fire it directly at Ice. There are going to be 3 specials coming out from FTWIN to take this zone. If they hold through this, I think Lowkey will actually take this game.
They might. They've only got 15 beats left. They are doing an excellent job. The Booyah Bomb. They go ahead and take it back. It is already at 5. Can they do it? Is it going to happen? They've lost. That is a huge penalty. That is the penalty you never want.
I almost fell out of my chair there, almost. But you can see that went from 3 points to win to 76 points to win. And that is, again, the power of Splat Zones. Gamer, I love the fact, firing this out, they just need to keep the game in front of them right now. As long as they stay 2 or 3 up, they meet specials with specials, they can kind of keep this one at an even pace. They have 2 specials here. They're not going to burn them until they have to. They understand just how close they are to getting this win.
FTWIN also has some specials coming up, though. Unfortunately, I'm just not sure what's going to happen here. They do take it back. They have that 30 beat penalty that they are going to overcome. It looks like it's going pretty quickly, and they've got plenty of time until FTWIN actually shows up, and they get 2D gets taken down.
Look at the way that they rotated over Arashi in the 1. Do they even have a special? They don't. They have 2 people down. What is happening in front of us right now?
That is game 3 to Lowkey.
I think that speaks absolutely to the point where if you are not careful, this game, Splat Zones in Walleye Warehouse can be over in a heartbeat. And that's how it ended.
Yeah.
They just could not convert. They could not get to that Splat Zone 9. What happened?
Better play. One team just played better. They executed better. The rotation that you saw there, the ability to move over in pairs and take people out, identify where they're coming from, the willingness of players like Gamer on that backliner to move up, stand in front of the zone, and zone people out. Tetsu's Deadeye accuracy. Just, they are
What
rolling.
can you do?
This is the best I've ever seen Lowkey play.
Me too.
I'm really impressed. Really, really impressed.
This is a really great match. I am smiling from ear to ear. This is the type of Splatoon I love to see. This is so exciting. Okay, now you're down. You're FTWIN. You're the favorite coming into this. You're
were.
down. Now we're going to Rainmaker. What's the strategy?
Come out swinging. I think that if you continue to let the momentum that Lowkey has built go in their favor, they are going to take maybe one push and take it all the way. You need to get a quick pick. This is where Kyo needs to come up big. People talk about Kyo all the time. He is undoubtedly one of the finest players that this continent has to offer.
He is a playmaker.
He is. And there have not been the plays made in these last two games. We need a couple picks. We need an exceptional play from one person that they can use to snowball into a big win. Because even if they win this, they have to win another. They need to grab that momentum and take it back in their favor.
I think they need to bring back that kind of synergy they had when they were facing off with Demise. They were playing together, they were using the specials together, and I think that is going to potentially get them into that Game 7.
At the very beginning of this day, you talked about Lowkey and momentum. And now we're seeing this momentum. They are a force to be reckoned with. They are very difficult to stop. If you are FTW, how do you stop that momentum? How do you slow down the pace of the game to come back, to make that comeback? How do you do that, Nine?
I think that you need to understand what it is that Lowkey is doing to get all of these picks. Because even though they are a momentum-based team, they don't do it with conventionally aggressive frontline heavy compositions. In that last game, the most frontline thing they had was Arashi on a weapon that a lot of people consider a midliner. The way that they do what they do is they identify where you are going, they separate you with their range and with their Brella, and they make the picks easy for themselves. I think that if they are going to opt to do that, you have to be willing to either heavily load one side and break through the defense, or it's so difficult to play against what Lowkey does. I don't want to say you need to make a big play, but somebody's got to win a matchup they shouldn't.
Yes.
I think that it boils down to that with the way that Lowkey is playing and the way their synergy is going.
Yeah, definitely. I agree with that. I just think that, I don't know. I really just...
We're stunned.
Yeah, I'm speechless.
We've commentated so many Lowkey Splatoon matchups, and we have never seen them play like this. Never.
This is, but sometimes being in front of a crowd like this fires you up. It takes you to a level that you never thought was possible when you're playing because your adrenaline's pumping. You want to be able to represent NA in the World Championship. Let's go. We are ready to go to the Sturgeon Shipyard. It is time. We got Lowkey in the purple. We got FTWIN in the orange. And it is time for some Rainmaker.
And you will notice that 2D has switched back to the H3D. We talked about this earlier with Tic Tac. This is a comfort pick. This is saying, you know what, back's against the wall. Let's go back to what we know and do best. Toon was the inventor of this weapon. 2D, he was playing this even when it wasn't great. So you know that this is a comfort pick falling back on, but it also gives them a little bit more range to deal with it. So maybe they're trying to meet range with range, as we see once again an even start, Milana. Neither team wanting to go down too early.
Yeah, so I think the strategy is you want to pop the Rainmaker, get that turf, build those specials, but not touch the Rainmaker until you get a pick or two.
There you got a little bit of a trade. You got the one, he's out, but he takes somebody down with him, so that's all right.
Yeah, 2 down in the middle here. Again, both sides just waiting. Now, I like the fact that Kyo pushed up, but that was too far. They had to know that 2 people were there in that situation. Maybe the call-out wasn't coming in, because now Tetsu is not only sitting here in a great spot, but they have the Stingray to back it up, and the Booyah Bomb. They're not going to be able to run. That's 3 down. Oh, that's a full...
That's 3 down. That's 3 down. It's close to a wipe. This is not good for FTW. Lowkey is going to go ahead and make a push here, and they have got a lot of time to do so.
Oh, and Arashi falling down there is big.
Oh, and the double.
There's the Stingray.
Three down on Lowkey, giving FTW a chance to push back.
A full wipe, and Arashi falling down there is huge because the points go so quickly when you're at the bottom of the screen. They are at 65. That can go all the way to 38 if you push up to the edge of that. So, again, hanging on for dear life right now is FTWIN, but they do have the Rainmaker.
Oh.
But Arashi swatted Kyo out of the air.
Oh, it almost takes out Ice with the Rainmaker. He throws that hammer and almost takes out Ice. Ice does get taken out by Gamer with that Stingray. That was an amazing play.
And the coordination again to immediately clean up everybody. That's a delayed full wipe once again. The one with the Brella in front here, they're going to again move all the way up as far as they can on this left side. And you see Ice isn't really close to a Stingray here. They're gonna have to do this the old-fashioned way, Ashley.
I am very curious what's going to happen. We've got the Ultra Stamp out again. We got the hammer, but he does get taken out. So that was a really key play by 2D.
But again, getting to 51, well, all of the pressure was in the center, very wisely coming to the other side and pushing the Rainmaker that way. So now they're going to let that reset. They do have control at the center as we get to 2 minutes and 30 seconds left. Halfway done, but how do they break past this defense? Gamer does not really close to the Stingray yet, but you know that's always something that is on the table. Arashi sitting up in the top corner as well. They're gonna need to find some pretty wild picks. They do get one on Tetsu, but again, they're sitting back. The Stingray's gonna come out. Can they get the lead in time?
They are pushing it really hard, but oh, not quite, not quite. That Stingray is absolutely brutal, especially with Rainmaker mode, because that Stingray knows exactly where you are.
It does. It always does. And Kyo trying desperately to run away. Look at Arashi putting that wall there.
Go!
So
I
you are
cannot
not
believe
getting
the level
away.
of play. Absolutely, just so top level play by Arashi. I mean, he is absolutely on fire right now.
Oh, and he waited for the jump with the hammer. Shaq has to
the
run.
hammer
You can't.
went down to hit Shaq.
And just throws it in the hopes that he gets one more pick. He doesn't quite get it, but the damage is done. The damage is done.
And this Ice's Stingray, the only thing that is keeping this from being a blowout right now. Tetsu now rotating over here in the one, sitting by the Rainmaker again. As we get to just a minute left, trying to protect that jump, you see the one making sure that his teammate can get back into the action. But again, they're just warding them away, and that pick might be huge there. Going down to a stray bomb is so big, it can spawn a huge push, Milana.
Yeah, I think this is the perfect opportunity for FTWIN to make a push. They have, they're using their specials. All the specials are coming out. Kyo is pushing up, really making. Oh, and that is a huge
That's a
pick.
big pick.
2D pushing up. Oh, taking the lead.
He takes the lead. He is running
He
for
is
it.
not letting them have it. FTWIN is not letting them have it easy.
They are so close right now. If they can break that barrier, pick it up, and win. But Arashi's got the hammer. He's going crazy. He's not letting anybody take that Rainmaker.
We said that Kyo had to make a big play. We said that he had to be the playmaker. He got a triple to open that one up. There is no other way to slice it there. And now this is huge again. You see that Gamer is very close to having Stingray here, and Ice is not, meaning that this is the chance they can get it. And Toon going down that early. Kyo is the last one. Kyo and Shaq are sitting on that side. I think that Gamer needs to fire that Stingray and blaze a path here. They are going to go into overtime, and this is for all the marbles. FTWIN needs to get a stop here, or they are going home.
Lowkey
They just
has
need to
got
stop the Rainmaker from pushing any more forward. Oh,
The
and there's the
Stingray's
Stingray
out.
It's coming out.
It's Stingray v Stingray.
Oh.
And they've lost the Rainmaker.
And that is a game 7.
Game 7, we got it!
Game 7, my friend. 3-3. This is, what a match. What a match.
We have been asking, hoping, begging, and now we finally get a Game 7 on the biggest stage. Two teams playing as well as they can play here. But again, let's go back to that last match. Kyo getting a triple to move everybody forward to get that lead. And really a very close match even at the end there. 20 points. If Gamer had won that Stingray duel and then been able to fire down that alleyway,
Could have ended totally differently.
it could have.
But like you said at the beginning of the match, right before we got going, you said Kyo's got to make those plays. And he absolutely did in every way. And he made it happen. I think he made it happen.
I think there's just so much pressure at that point, but what makes FTWIN stand out from from a lot of teams who play competitively is just that they keep such a calm head even till the very end.
Well, we've got a replay. I want to take a look at what we have going here. We got an instant replay. Of course, you've got Gamer right there, gets splatted, pretty much in the reset where the spawn is. But Stingray is such a massive part of Rainmaker. It's one of those specials that if you're not running Stingray, what are you even doing?
And again, we said earlier that really the only thing that was keeping FTWIN in that game was Ice's Stingray early on, because they had 2 or 3 people going down early. They had opportunities. You saw that Arashi and Tetsu were both pushed up really far. The last thing that really could be done is Ice using the Stingray, and sometimes just keeping your team in the game. Give your players like Kyo more chances. If you don't make the play this time, here's the Stingray, buddy. Let's clean it up. I'm going to give you another shot.
Make some opportunities for your teammates. And one of the things that I think they did really, really well in that game was they stuck together. Nobody got separated. And I think sometimes we see that. You know, it's very easy in certain maps to get cut off from your teammates and get flanked and get separated. And then that's a really tough 1v1 or a 2v1 to win. So to convert on those, I think was a real key to victory here.
Yeah, definitely. I'm really looking forward to this Game 7, though. We have Tower Control Mako.
Mako, Mark.
Mako or Mako?
They're both right.
All right.
We'll accept both.
We will accept both on the answer, but this map, we said earlier that Moray Towers moves quickly. This map is maybe the most neutral map in all of Splatoon in terms of the way it plays.
There could be a lot of back and forth.
That tower gets moving quickly. Oftentimes we see scores end in the 30s. Both teams in the 30s or somewhere
Just
in
trade.
It's devastating here, and now the momentum. We said they had to grab the momentum back in the way that they won that game, that FTWIN won that game with the huge play, the crowd back on their side.
Okay. Oh. This is it. This is for all the sea snails.
Every single one.
All of them. This is for all of them. This is Game 7. This is the finals. This is for the opportunity to represent North America in the Splatoon 2 World Championships in Los Angeles. I mean, the crowd is hyped. They are ready. Arashi is also ready. He is pumping up the crowd over there. See him back there.
He is a crowd pleaser, but let's
talk about these teams. I want to know who do you think is going to come in with the momentum here and take this Game 7?
The crowd isn't going to like this, but I got FTWIN. I got them going for this now. I think that they got the momentum back there at the end, and more importantly, Kyo got the confidence back that he needed to remember, oh, that's right, I can make these plays, I can do this. Milana,
what do you got?
Who do you got?
I'm gonna say I'm rooting for FTWIN.
You're rooting for FTWIN, or you think they're gonna win?
I think they're gonna win.
Okay.
I think they just don't let things like losses get to them, and I think that is just such a great skill to have.
Ashley?
It looks like we are ready to go. I am going to reserve my opinion. I refuse to choose between these two great teams. Let's go to Mako Mart and ride the tower.
Every player dreams of this. Every player lives for this. This is why we play this game. Game 7. Let's go, everybody. And as we see right now, both teams very quickly locked in their compositions. We see Toon going right back to that Kensa undercover umbrella. You remember, Milana, last time they played this, it was FTWIN that got that victory.
Yeah, and we can see that Kyo went back to his tried and true blaster. So I'm really I hope that works out for him.
This is a classic Kyo weapon. This is the weapon he loves the most. The one gets taken out. 2D got that Brella. He's going. Stingrays are already out. This, again, the building of the ults here is so crucial. I think Ice is going to be an absolutely critical player in this match.
I agree, too. And again, they got a 4-down situation, and they didn't even need that many specials to do it. The one goes down, too, and this is starting to snowball quick. This first checkpoint going to fall without really any resistance, and they still have an ink armor here. Look at this. This is beautiful coordination of their specials, one after the other, and finding a pick.
Great crucial pick there. They're already at the second checkpoint. They are riding toward checkpoint 3 right
That
now.
Stingray is not making it easy for them.
No, but look, they're all staying right around there. They're going to be able to get back to the tower instantly there. Gamers stood there and continued to fire at the same area.
They are already at checkpoint 3. This could end very, very quickly. They have got 15 beats. If they can do that, they may actually, in fact, take the entire thing.
The last one is the one. He has to win a 1v4 for him to do this. Shaq not going to let it happen. The last one around is Arashi. Can he get it all? They cannot. Game 7 goes to FTWIN.
Wow.
Yo, jumps up and down. The hunks come out.
That was with authority. With authority. Wow, they are celebrating, and rightfully so. They did a great job. I love Lowkey. They're coming over. They're
Look
giving
how
hugs
excited
too.
we are just to like talk about it and hug it out. I just love this. I love this sportsmanship.
That was a series to remember. Even though that last game went quickly, it doesn't matter. This was high-level Splatoon 2 play. Like you said, it's what everybody wants. Everyone wants to see a Game 7. I cannot believe it.
One team rose to the occasion there at the very end. We said earlier that map can move very, very quickly.
So quickly.
It is a neutral map, but to that end, that means that sometimes you just get outplayed. Kyo switching back over to the blaster, making the big plays early. The coordination of the specials, staggering them over and over. And what a fantastic, these players have certainly earned what they are about to receive, Ashley.
It is time for the trophy presentation, and we are presenting these players with custom, look at this, beautiful controllers. Look at how gorgeous they are. And they have not seen them yet. So I'm very excited to see their reactions. Let's have them take a look.
Oh man, open it up.
That's what you've won, my friends. You've won beautiful championship controllers. They are custom, they are gorgeous. And not only have they won that and the title of Best Team in North America, they have now won a spot in the Splatoon 2 World Championships.
Raise it above your head, Kyo. You have earned this.
Kyo has absolutely earned it. That is a winning team if I have ever seen one. Like you said, those clutch plays, lift them up high, be proud. You deserve it. You earned it. Took it all the way to Game 7 and closed it out.
It was a fantastic set, a number of fantastic sets, some upsets along the way, but as so often happens in Splatoon, the team that is the favorite wins. They do it very often. This was the strongest team coming in, and they still proved it got the win.
9, I'm getting a special transmission.
Actually, now that you mention it.
I hear it too.
Do you hear it too?
Yeah, I hear it.
It's a special message from Squid Research Labs.
What?
Yeah, we should listen.
こんにちは。理科研究所の研究員です。スプラトゥーン2ノースアメリカインクリングオープン2019で熱い戦いを繰り広げてくれたすべてのプレイヤーの皆さん、お疲れ様でした。またご観戦いただいた皆さんも応援ありがとうございました。ハイレベルなプレイヤーたちの対戦を楽しんでいただけたのではないでしょうか。先ほど告知された6月にロサンゼルスで行われるスプラトゥーン2ワールドチャンピオンシップ2019が本当に楽しみですね。さて本日は私から皆さんに理科研究所の最新の研究成果をご報告したいと思います。以前にお伝えしていた物質セレクションの配信日が4月2日に決まりました。また発表済みの10種類の武器に加えてスパッタリークリア、キャンピングシェルターカーモという2種類の武器も追加されることになりました。これら12種類の武器は4月2日のアップデートバージョン 4.6.0 で一気に追加されます。さらに春にちなんだフェスのお知らせです。4月19から21日の48時間特別仕様のスプリングフェストを世界合同で開催します。お題は勝つのはどっち？ウサギ vs カメ。このフェスに合わせて任天堂スイッチ本体のゲームニュースを通じて春の新色ギアもプレゼントされます。 お楽しみに。詳しい情報は公式の SNS でお知らせしますのでご確認ください。いかがでしたでしょうか。以上、イカ研究所でした。
I love hearing from Mr. Nogami. I love hearing from the Squid Research Labs. They are on top of all the best new Squid technology. 12 new weapons!
12
I'm
new
amazed.
weapons.
I'm Mr. Nogami. Your work, your hard work. It's just
I gotta have those clear dapple dualies.
Yeah, I'm very interested. The Grim Range Blaster coming back. A mainstay in Splatoon 1 has the Burst Bomb as well as the Tenta missiles there. Going to be a threat from all ranges. What are you looking at?
I'm looking at the NZAP.
Yeah.
Just eyeing it.
Of that NZAP.
Wonder
Everyone
why.
knows that NZAP. I absolutely love it. I cannot wait to see how it changes the meta potentially.
Yeah, a change in the
some
meta
changes there.
before the World Championship.
That could be exciting. And as we mentioned, the World Championship will be in Los Angeles this June. Up next, we've got some very exciting programming for you, my friends. If you're into a little game that you may have heard of called
Maybe.
Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, we've got the Super Smash Bros. Ultimate North America Open 2019 Finals coming up. We cannot wait for you to see what we have in store for you. On behalf of everyone here at the table, thank you, my friends, for coming here and having a great time. Milana, 9, I'm Ashley Esqueda. That has been the Splatoon 2 North America Inkling Open 2019 Finals. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned.
Come on,